Lions supports 7 local charities and 8 area projects. Dean Munoz is the golf tournament chair. Give him a call at 909-481-1180. That's 909-481-1180. Come on out and golf at Sierra Laverne Country Club on June 20th to support the Ontario host Lions. 909-481-1180.
Education is a right, not a privilege, and it is the civil rights issue of our generation. And Latino students disproportionately bear the crux of our educational crisis. The campus of Cal State San Bernardino is pleased to host the annual LEAD Summit, along with hundreds of viewing sites across the nation and globe, working together with our media partners to raise awareness and enhance the intellectual, cultural, and personal development of our community's educators, administrators, leaders, parents, and students. Please join us for Latino Education and Advocacy Days as we convene those sharing a common interest and commitment to the educational issues that impact Latinos. For more information, please visit leadsummit.csusb.edu. Again, that website is leadsummit.csusb.edu. The LEAD Summit, Latino Education and Advocacy Days, taking place at Cal State San Bernardino.
Thursday, March 28th at Cal State San Bernardino. The LEAD Summit starts at 8 a.m. I'm finally getting my abs back thanks to TC1 Gel. I gained some inches around the belly last year and the holidays didn't help either. But then I discovered TC1 Gel and now 2019 is the year of my abs returning. TC1 Gel is a thermogenic gel that you rub on your waist 15 minutes before exercising. Then simply put on the TC1 sweat belt and start your workout. You'll sweat like crazy and feel the burn. It focuses on boosting circulation, increasing perspiration, activates body heat, reduces muscle fatigue, and burns off more calories. Get your TC1 Gel now. Go to tc1gel.com and use the code RADIO30 for a 30% discount on this amazing product. Again, RADIO30 is a code for 30% off the regular low price of TC1 Gel. You can also go to www.tc followed by the numeral 1 gel.com. That's TC number 1 gel.com. TC1gel.com. Get rid of a few inches and get your abs back with TC1 Gel. Also, follow them on Instagram, handle TC1Gel.
Winter Guard International's West Power Regional, presented by Lone Star Percussion, is coming to the Casolas Arena at Cal State San Bernardino on Saturday, March 23rd through Sunday, March 24th. This competition brings together the premier percussion ensembles of the region to compete for top honors ahead of the World Championship event in Dayton, Ohio in April. Tickets are available at the door only. For more information, visit www.wgi.org. That's WGI.org.
Talk 102.3 FM Riverside. Thank you, America, for making us radio's number one format for 8 years. Talk 102.3 FM Riverside. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
And the bees survive. Right before me, my newfound hippie side once ignored these conspiracies online. Out the window, visions of the earth. Sign me up now, make sure you're smart. Take a walk on the wild side. Will the birds and the bees survive? Would your children lie to see Mother Nature sigh?
Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
Welcome, everyone. This is Smart Health Talk radio show, and yes, I'm your host, Elaine McFadden, and a registered dietitian with a master's in public health, and I'm really glad that I went and did the work on that one. You know, so many times we think we know it all, but find out we don't. Going back to school is a really good one for that, and I highly recommend it. And if those of you out there that are thinking about going to college, I went back when I was like 35, and think about it, because you know, there is like some really great new jobs out there, green jobs, jobs related to green energy. And they pay good too. I mean, you know, you can be making like $80,000 just after like a year of junior college. And I tell you, Riverside Community College, you know, we have like, we got Valley College over here, we have Crafton. Right here in the Inland Empire, we're surrounded by all these great junior colleges. And when I would go and talk to groups of high school students that, you know, maybe come from low-income families, which that's what I came from, so I know what it's like. And I like talking to them because I understand that I didn't grow up with anyone telling me, oh, of course you're going to go to college. You know, and of course, I'm bringing this up because we got things going on in the news right now related to college. And I didn't have parents like that. I didn't have parents that were willing to, like, you know, go out there and commit a felony to get me into college. My family didn't even talk about it. And I was getting good grades, but no one ever said, hey, you know, we expect you to go to college. Shoot, I wish they would have. I mean, I wanted to go to college all on my own, but had absolutely no support system, and they didn't have the programs back then like they do today that you can totally take advantage of. And I say take advantage of it now, because you don't know what you got till it's gone. And who knows, with there's, you know, so many things on the table right now that they want to chop and take away. That's why you got to take advantage of these programs. And I think the hardest thing for people is just figuring out what the heck it is you want to do, because once you figure that one out, it just seems like everything else is easy after that, because then it's like, okay, I know where I'm going. Now I can make my plan for how I'm going to get there. And those of you that I mentioned low income too, because there are some great programs. If you get Medi-Cal, you can get free tuition to junior college. And then if you qualify, they have other programs like the EOPS program, which helps you with money for your books. So, I mean, it's totally possible. You can get help with your parking. Well, don't quote me on that one. Usually parking is where they love to like catch you no matter what, right? Parking could definitely be a problem, but you know, we got some really great transit systems around here, and I can tell you, I know somebody for 3.5 years took a bus to and from RCC, and it was like an hour trip each way. So they can do it. You can do it, because that person is now a Berkeley College graduate. So you got to start somewhere, and not everyone wants to be a Berkeley College graduate. You know, some people want to like, hey, just train me so I can get to work and start making money and putting some money in my pocket. I'm not like someone that wants to keep my nose in a book for the next 8 years. Totally understandable. Maybe you got a family you got to take care of. But let me tell you, you have no idea how many great jobs there are out there that in 1 year of training, you're making anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000 a year. And if you don't think you're not smart enough, trust me, if I can do it, you can do it, okay? It's all a matter of putting the effort. I had to study so hard. Those people that can just like whip right through a test, I mean, you always have them. We had just like a dozen people that lived together for 2 years in the nutrition program. And of course, we had one person in our group that she would finish the test, every test that we took, in like half the time. I tell you, it would just like, it made, you know, it's just like, it made me uneasy at first. But then I just came to accept it because I got better grades than her. So, okay, I took longer, but I got a higher score. So that was important to me because, number one, I wanted to know the material. It was important to me to learn while I was going to school. I wasn't trying to just skip through school and cheat every way that I could. No, I was there to learn because you know what? I like being smart. I like knowing what I'm talking about because especially when you're being a dietitian, when you're giving people advice that has to do with their life, you know, this could impact their health with what you tell them. I take it very seriously. And that's why everything I tell you on this radio show, I feel like I've done my homework and I feel pretty confident I'm giving you good information. Most of it isn't even my words. They come from our previous guests who are pretty top notch. And I just pass it along to you. But the important thing is that you get the message. And to me, as a public health professional, making sure that people can get to a level where they're living above the poverty line, you know, is a big goal of mine, all right? Because that changes everything. It really does. Okay, maybe not in like a huge way, because sometimes being on welfare and food stamps, some of the jobs out there, they actually put you lower because you don't have the health care. They kind of put you in situations where you, if you tell about the true worth of your car, you know, you're disqualified. I mean, it's the way the system is set up, I don't like it at all. The way I would change it is if people get into the program, whether it's a WIC program or a welfare or food stamp program, usually you get welfare, you get food stamps. But, you know, put them through some counseling, you know, some screening. Try to, you know, help them put together a life plan. Set some goals for themselves, you know, where do you want to be a year from now? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? It's like we set the system up just to keep people on it, just to keep them needy. In my mind, because they try to, you know, help me get a $5 an hour job, which I didn't need any help getting a $5 an hour job. Those are pretty easy to get because that's slave labor. But they were going to help me get that instead of going to school. I was like, that's not going to get me out of poverty, people. I want to be out of poverty. For once, I want to stop the cycle that has been going on for generations in my family, where no one ever went to college. You know, it was always, you know, if you were lucky, if you were lower to middle class, that was like a big deal. And my mother kind of achieved that just because of who she married. He was an electrician, so that helped a little bit, but, you know, that didn't end good either. And it never ended really good for her. You know, she ended up on painkillers because of bad back, and it was, I just kind of watched her dwindle away, and I always thought, I just don't want that to happen to me. And that's why even at 35, I fought to go back to school and learn and get a real career where I could really help people because I was qualified to do it. But now that I've really done even more research with what's coming up with the new green job availability out there, I just feel like there's so much opportunity. And with tech, there's so many opportunities in tech. I mean, just the other day I heard some big company's server broke down. It was costing them thousands of dollars, you know, as time was passing. Tell you, you show up and you can fix that server, everybody loves you. Yeah. And that's like a $50,000 an hour job in 1 year of training at junior college. So the first step, I tell people, not even hard. First of all, if you're on Medi-Cal, you get free tuition. Okay, that's number one. Number two, all you have to do is go down to the closest junior college, walk into the career center and say, I think I want to go to school, but I have no idea what I want to do. Or maybe you have an idea, but you're not sure what it's going to take. Those people in the Career Center are so trained. They are there to help you. That's all they do. You walk in there, they will sit you down. They'll help you kind of go through some some questionnaire type things, and they will help you kind of narrow it down on maybe what some of the things you'd be good at, what you're interested in. It's really a wonderful process. Then just head on over to the financial aid office and get all that information. Get your paperwork that you got to do, but I tell you, I don't know if it's too late because February is usually the cutoff. But the FASHA form, the federal student aid form, is the most important form that you can fill out. And it has to be filled out like at the beginning of the year, usually. But I haven't done it for a while, but you need to go check it out. And it's the federal student aid form. And you fill that out, and then it opens the door to getting other things. There's California grants that you can get. There's scholarships that you can get. And so many people out there that have, I kind of wished I was in a minority, and to tell you the truth, I was always told I was Native American, and I found it on census reports, and I was looking up, hey, is there any way that I qualify? A guy in Washington, D.C. did say that they go by the one drop rule, which is one drop of blood, you qualify. So, I kind of feel like no one even mentioned how our system actually supports, what is the process that someone goes through to qualify as a minority. It's one thing qualifying as a minority, it's another thing qualifying to be as a member of the tribe. And when you're a member, I check that out too. I knew I was Cherokee and Choctaw, right? So I was calling those people up, hey, you guys got a casino too, you can help put me through school. I had my heart in a good place because I thought, if those people help me, I definitely will get back. That's why we do the radio show, as a lot of people believed in me and supported my education, and I said I'd get back, and that's what I'm doing right here, talking to you. And if I can inspire one person out there to head on down to that career center at the junior college and go in there and check it out, because they do what, to me, the whole welfare system should be doing, which is like, when people come in, let's take that opportunity to help them start to achieve their goals to be self-sufficient, where they don't need social services anymore. And let's have a universal healthcare system here where everyone wakes up in the morning and no one has to worry about whether they're going to die because they don't have healthcare. Just think, if we could make it so we were trying to support people more towards being successful instead of keeping them down, how we could change this country. But in my mind, the people that have the big money, and that own all these big fast food restaurants and $5 an hour jobs, or what, maybe it's up, I don't know. I know our goal was 15, but I don't know if every state achieved that. But anyway, these people need the minimum wage worker, lots of them, to go and work in all their little restaurants. Of course, they're hoping for the high schooler, but I tell you, there are programs out there where you can get out of high school and be making $80,000 a year. I wish someone would have told me what I'm about ready to tell you when I was in high school. And that is, you can go, if you're in high school right now listening to this, you could be going to junior college and high school at the same time. And when you graduate from high school, you could be graduating from junior college and transferring as a sophomore to the university. And why are people starting off as a freshman at the friggin' university? That I can't understand, because it is so much more expensive to go to the friggin' university. And when you're a freshman and a sophomore, I guess you're a junior when you go to university, you're just taking your general ed. You're just taking all your core classes that everybody has to take, English 101, kind of a thing. You got to take either your psychology or your philosophy. Everyone has to do it. The first 2 years are just getting that out of the way. Then finally, when you get to be a junior, it's like, okay, now I get to take my classes, the kind of stuff that I like, that I want to specialize in. That doesn't even happen till your junior year. So why spend all that money to take core classes that you could take at the junior college for like way cheaper? I don't understand why anyone, and they think, oh, that's subpar. Well, it turns out that my anatomy physiology teacher at RCC also taught at Loma Linda University, where I later transferred. And you know why she was teaching at RCC? Because they paid more. They paid her more as a professor at RCC than she was making at Loma Linda. So yeah, she wanted to work over there on the side. But the thing is, I'm getting a quality education. She was the same person that was teaching me when I transferred to Loma Linda at Riverside Community College. So don't think you're getting a subpar education. Although I know there was a kind of crazy nutrition professor over there. But the thing is, you kind of find those things out. You just get through it. You just got through those first 2 years for cheapest that you can get. Don't have a bunch of student loans hanging over your head. If you're on Medi-Cal, you get free tuition. So I didn't even owe any money when I got out of junior college. It was that master's degree that really cost me the most money. Yeah, that was a biggie. But you can plan for that and get, if you want to go that far. I went for nutrition, which isn't something you get a lot of big grants for at schools, like to do that. But you can do all those things. You just do it I just made it one day at a time. I had two kids by myself, single mom, on welfare, going to school, just trying to make a better life, to be the first person to graduate from college in my family. And I know I inspired my children to set high goals for themselves. And I know that I changed the cycle. I know I did. But it was hard work. It was really, really hard. And I studied and studied and studied. I did it the hard way. Sometimes I get 1 hour's sleep in a night trying to get a good grade on a test. I definitely did the work. So something that they're not talking about in the media when it comes to the people that are privileged and getting in, saying they're an athlete when they're not an athlete, or they're disabled and they're not disabled, is the extra services that you get when you are an athlete or you're disabled. One of the most important ones that I was jealous of was, I was like, damn, I wish I was an athlete. I wasn't wishing for the disabled one, but I was definitely wishing for the athlete. But, and no disrespect, of course. But, it was the first thing you get is priority registration. So when everyone's dialing in to get their classes, and I don't know if you've ever experienced, not being able to get your classes because they were full, okay, because you have to register, down the list. You're not near the top of the list to get to register first. Well, people that are in special programs, the EOPS program, I think, is another one that's included, that have a disadvantage at some way or are doing extra for the school and taking up extra time, which athletes definitely are, and obviously the disabled deserve priority registration. But the thing is, the people that paid to get in and aren't even really doing not even really an athlete, they get priority registration. So other people may have to wait to finish school, stay another semester. So those kind of things can happen too. But, again, it's the big picture that we have to look at. And when we're looking at universal health care, we're going to be having Dr. Friedman come from University of Massachusetts. And he has done studies that show how cost effective it actually is. Because when you really look at the big picture and all the money that you can save, and still, I really don't think that we don't hear about people dying from lack of health care in these other countries. Actually, people are very happy about it. I would be so happy right now to know that I was covered. And the fact that 60% of bankruptcies are because of health care. 60%. People do everything right. They pay all their bills on time. They go to work. They probably don't even take their vacation days. They save money. They just wait for retirement. They finally get to retirement, and they've been paying their mortgage and all doing all these things right, and then they get sick. Really, really sick. Oh, we can save your life, but it's going to cost $500,000. Next thing you know, what the insurance companies do is they look for the sick people so they can get rid of them and drop them. That's what a lot of their admin costs come from, looking for sick people to get rid of them. Once you're dropped, you now have a pre-existing condition. You no longer qualify for any health care whatsoever because they can deny you, and they will. And where are you going to go from here? You're going to mortgage the house. You're going to just get all the money that you can to pay for the treatment to save your life or the person that you love's life. And that's why it leads to bankruptcy. That's why 60% of bankruptcies are related to health care. And I just don't think that those people deserve that. It's power. The pharmaceutical companies, they're reaming us. If you went to our Smart Health Talk website and you went and looked on the front page, we have healthcare links. And when you go look and see how much these CEOs at these insurance companies are making, it's like all that money could be used to be saving people's lives. But no, they're denying people health care knowing that they're going to die. Blatantly, knowing they're going to die. I'm so glad that we have people actually talking about the actions of the pharmaceutical companies with painkillers and Oxycontin. I'm so glad that they're actually saying the M word. Yeah, murder. I was so glad people are finally starting to say it, because what else can you call it? It was calculated. It was premeditated. And people died. They need to be accountable. And these pharmaceutical companies, we need some leverage. We need some leverage to say, hey, you pay us this, you cut the price of this, or you get nothing from us. You get no business from us, because there are plenty of drug companies out there. We don't need American drug companies. You know, they don't want to play ball. They don't want to give us the price that we need. Then when they're raking in like big time profits, then I say, hey, let's go somewhere else. Bye-bye. They don't deserve it. They're killing people, as in my mind. You know, why am I talking about all this? Like I've been talking about so far? Well, let's see. What's the latest report that came out? Where are the world's healthiest nations? Oh, you would think because the United States spends more on healthcare than any other country out there, especially, you know, like one of the big nations. We spend more than anyone. And I don't mean like a little bit more. I mean a lot more. And yet, we're number 35. Yeah. When you look at the world's healthiest nation, the United States rates number 35. We have one of the highest infant mortality rates in the world. Our babies are dying when it could totally be prevented, because that doesn't happen in other countries. And guess what? When you have universal health care, people go get prevention. They go to their regular appointments like they're supposed to go. They're not thinking, oh, yeah, I can't afford to go for that checkup. Do you know how many people are walking around with diabetes that is undiagnosed right now? I would guess at least 1 million people out there. And what does that mean? That means that you have a bunch of concentrated sugar going through your veins, eating away. Have you ever seen what sugar does to a tooth? If you've had a cavity, then you know what I'm talking about. Think about the tender tissues at the tip of your fingers, inside your kidneys, inside your eyes, inside your toes. When you saturate them with sugar 24 hours a day, you literally disintegrate them. That's why diabetes, number one cause of amputations, blindness, kidney disease. You know, diabetes is at the core of this, and yet it's a preventable disease. People are out there with pre-diabetes. If we catch that, we can put them on a program where they never get it. Who wants diabetes? Who wants it? You know, what? You want to be on disability or something? You know? And that's another thing. Because we have all these sick people, and it leads to blindness and amputation and kidney disease. Now they're on disability. They can't even be a productive member of our country anymore, or society. That is why we need to prevent these things. And when you prevent them, do you just think about all the medication that person is going to have to be on every single month of their life? And then when they need all those surgeries, when they're on disability, when the quality of life is like went, they're probably going to die sooner. How do you quantify all that? And then add all that up for all of these people that we could be preventing just diabetes. And I tell you, when I hear McDonald's coming out with a donut, oh my gosh. Because they got the fryer right there, right? Hey, we got the fryer for the French fries, which are GMO right now, by the way, everybody. Might as well fry up some donuts in the morning, and let's just have one more thing to add to that obesity epidemic. We need to get away from these fast food restaurants. We need to take control of our food. Bring your food with you. Go to the farmer's market. Buy it locally. Don't even buy it at the grocery store. They're doing stuff to the food. I went about it on the show. I won't go about today, but trust me, they're gassing. They're using ethylene gases, pesticide gases to stop ripening. They're methyl bromide and organophosphate in the warehouse. I mean, all along the way, it's getting treated. All about making it last longer so they can make more money off that one piece of fruit. So if you go direct to the farmer, cut out all those other people, guess what? None of that stuff happens. It just picked, fresh, organic. Hey, I bought it from Bob, Farmer Bob, Farmer Bob, nice guy supporting his family. I'm helping him. It becomes like that. And this connection between our food, we start getting more connected with our food. We're disconnected. We're just eating food. We're not really enjoying it. We're not enjoying where it came from. The flavor, the new flavors, not just the same old, same old. That's why they got to come out with a new sandwich every once in a while, Everyone gets tired of eating the same old thing over and over again. Oh, yeah, let's just give everyone a handful of stuff. That's what Bill Gates wanted to come up with, the golden rice. We have a vitamin A deficiency, so let's genetically modify the rice to give people some genetically produced vitamin A instead of, let's help them raise more greens, which are full of vitamin A. Instead of helping create access to a more variety of vitamin A foods, no, we expect those poor people just to eat some genetically modified rice so that they get their vitamin A. As a dietitian, I would never want to wish that on anyone, that's how I expect them to eat. And the problem is not that we don't have enough food, because we're actually wasting 50% of the food that we produce in this country. The problem is we can't get the food to the people. And a lot of times, there could be war going on where these people are starving. But we've come up with so many. We can actually create water from air. I don't know if anyone has seen this, but they have new inventions. You can just put this thing out there, and it actually attracts droplets of moisture that is in the air, even if you're in the desert. You can create water from these. And speaking of water, Of course, a new study came out, which, let's see, ever since we've had Smart Health Talk on, we've had a big, huge section about soda on our website. Not just soda, but aspartame, Splenda, those artificial sweeteners. And we've told you about the lie about stevia. It's actually a 17 step process to create this one isolated chemical. The whole plant is not approved by the FDA. Just a single chemical that takes 17 steps to isolate within the plant. That's why it has that weird aftertaste. That's why. Okay. So it came out, increase your risk of heart disease, the more soda you're drinking. Not just heart disease, osteoporosis. For another thing, obesity. People think, and the diet soda really didn't help. And why doesn't it help? It doesn't help with anything. Actually, people will sometimes even eat more calories when they eat the diet because they think, I ate this diet, so I saved this many calories. And really, they're underestimating the calories that they are now rewarding themselves for because the diet soda is actually maybe double, what they save by getting the diet. But let me tell you why it doesn't work very well. Okay, well, when you drink a diet soda, the sweet taste is hitting your tongue and it's going to your brain. Your brain then signals your pancreas to start secreting insulin. Problem is, it was just a big fake out. As a matter of fact, it's almost April Fool's. It was like a kind of an April Fool's joke. Oh, I bet you thought that we really ate sugar or we really ate some food. And there was food actually on the way from the message you were getting from your tongue. And then your brain and then to your pancreas. But there is no food. So then you have all this insulin circulating in your system, which actually increases the ability of fat to be stored. So that's why the diet sodas, and then you're not even really satisfied. Plus it secretes, Splenda, for instance, has 3 chlorine molecules on there. Chlorine is a toxic substance. Okay, and actually I remember when the Surgeon General Coop called it a pesticide. Splenda, he called a pesticide because of those chlorine molecules that are in there. I've experienced a very metallic taste when I tried it years ago. And the next time I experienced that taste in my mouth, I was in a very high chlorinated pool. And that same weird metallic taste came in my mouth. And I remembered, oh yeah, this is the same thing that happened when I used Splenda. And I'm thinking, isn't that weird how I'm in a chlorinated pool? Well, yeah, all that has chlorine in it. Okay, and then the sugar, you may think, I'm getting a drink. It's not organic, because this would never happen with organic. But you think, I'm getting a drink, and it has cane sugar in it. Or no, excuse me, it has sugar in it. If it just says sugar, it's GMO beet sugar. If it says cane sugar and it's not organic, okay, it's cane sugar, but it's had glyphosate on it, Roundup. And it may be GMO. So those are not good choices. The only logical choice is organic. And I tell you, you can eat organic. I actually just posted, there it is. Yeah, it's there. My tuna taco recipe. Yeah. Okay, I am totally into tacos. Mi Rancho is an organic taco brand. And I'm going to be putting up some enchilada recipes as well. But I already made a grass-fed beef. You can just adapt this recipe to grass-fed beef, which I'm going to put my beef and all the spices I put in my beef. I do a little bit more spices than I did for the tuna. But first of all, you want safe tuna. I do not trust the other tunas out there. I trust Wild Planet and Safe Catch only. And those two test for mercury. And these heavy metals can be devastating to your nervous system. You do not want to be eating these fish on a regular basis. Get those brands, buy them by the case. You can get that on Amazon by the case. So I was really craving tuna, had all these tortillas. Oh man, I think a tuna taco sounds really good. I am going to create a really great recipe here. And so what I did is I just took the can of tuna because I'm looking for low fat. Okay, I'm looking for, I'm eating a tortilla. Okay, that's a little bit of carbs, but the rest of it's, really good stuff. And actually, altogether as a whole, I'm getting a very well-balanced meal there in a tuna taco because I have an organic corn tortilla, and corn actually has a lot of good nutrients in it. Very important things, very important phytonutrients as well. So corn is a healthy food, and I don't like making carbs into like some sort of evil type thing. The evil carbs are the processed ones. Okay, highly refined, processed. Those are the evil ones. Okay, this whole grain corn tortilla is not evil. Okay, and then my tuna from Wild Planet, I just dumped the whole can of tuna. It comes in, I'm pretty sure it's a water base, and then just flake it up so that it's in little pieces, and then mix some paprika. Put some red pepper flakes because I didn't want to add a lot of moisture to it. You could add a little hot sauce if you wanted, or red pepper, some hot red pepper spice in there along too, if you want it a little bit hotter. But I put the red pepper flakes, just stirred that up, mixed all that up. I heat up my tortillas on the burner. Luckily, I have a gas stove. Made sure I got a gas stove because I love Mexican food and I love my tortillas cooked on the burner. I like to take a little bit of grass-fed butter and put that on the tortilla afterwards because, let's face it, a really good tortilla, like a homemade fresh one, with some really good butter on it, that's like heaven. Okay, and then so I just put my tuna on there, and then I had some grated cheese, the Romano. They have that a lot of the stores around here in California. It's a great organic cheese that's very affordable. Put some grated cheese, cabbage, because I'm trying to include as many cruciferous vegetables that have lots of sulfur in there, because if you remember a couple weeks ago, Dr. Seneff, she's been talking how we're not getting enough sulfur in our diet, which is really important for different reactions within our body. And the cruciferous vegetables totally deliver on the sulfur. That's what gives them that kind of sulfury taste or smell even when they're cooking, which of course would be like broccoli and cauliflower as well. Those are some other really great ones. But cabbage, it was St. Patty's Day too, so we were cooking it for that day. But I love to just raw cabbage on my tacos. That's actually a lot of the ways that they serve it in Mexico. Instead of lettuce, it just to me has more of a crunchy taste, and I'm getting a lot more nutrition in the cabbage. Squeeze that lime on there, but I made a sauce as well that I just took like a quarter of a cup of mayonnaise, quarter cup of ketchup, and I really didn't like the little acid taste that was still in there, so I added a little bit of honey to it, and oh my gosh, it was like perfect. And so I just kind of drizzled some of that onto the taco as well with the lime. Oh my gosh. I was like, I have got to put this recipe up on the website because this is like good. This is like really good. I ate 3 tacos. I was like a whale after that. But that was really only like 3/4 of a can. 1 can made like 4 tacos. And for the cost of that tuna and the quality of protein that you're getting, and then, the cost of the tortillas, maybe $1, because you get 8 in a package for the organic ones. A little bit of cheese, a little bit of onions and cabbage, that's not that expensive. But to get 4 tuna tacos that was definitely under $7. When you go buy tacos at Del Taco or Baja Grill or one of those places, fish taco, those are not like that cheap, and when you're buying these tacos, you were just, and these other things, you're totally getting what you paid for. Not too much. Definitely not too much in the nutrition department. I tell you, that taco, I just felt so good about every single bite of it because I knew the quality of all those ingredients. And that was probably a $2 at the most for each taco. So, I mean, if that was not very long to make either. I didn't even dirty a pan because I just heated the tortilla. I dirtied one bowl and my plate because I hate washing dishes. So, I mean, that was so fast and so easy and so delicious. You could make this for your kids, have this for dinner, and it's get home, you're tired. It's not that hard to open up a can of tuna. But I really recommend Smart Catch or Wild Planet only, okay? And please go and find all the other great recipes I have. One that I have on here that I really like that's pretty popular, where instead of cooking your eggs in oil, we cook it in salsa. And it's kind of a poached egg in a way. You poach it in the salsa, and then you could have a little huevos rancheros, a little beans on the side, a little couple of tortillas maybe in there. Throw those right in the pan with the salsa and let them get a little soft in there. I mean, these meals do not take very long to make. Not at all. You just pour the salsa in the bottom of the pan, crack the eggs, get it hot, crack the eggs right into this pan with the salsa. Just let it cook on a low simmer until the eggs get done. And then if you want, you can just kind of, stick a couple tortillas in there, cook them on the burner, heat some beans on the side and just make a plate really quick. I mean, that is a huge meal right there. And the eggs aren't that expensive. Even if you get them organic, they're 50 cents each. So a meal like that with the salsa and the tortillas, $3 to $4, all organic, if you made it at home. And that's if you had 2 or 3 eggs, because I eat a lot of eggs. I eat eggs. I'm not just a one egg eater. There's always more than one egg usually. And I love to put an egg where the yolk is soft on top of my pancakes. And I'm going to put a video and a recipe because I make the best pancakes. My pancakes never get wasted. Even the dog is wanting to finish off the pancakes, okay? It's homemade pancakes are just so good. I mean, I went out while I was going to the food show, which I've got a bunch of really great things here. I only have 10 minutes left. I guess I got to share some. But I tried eating some restaurant food. As soon as I put it in my mouth, it was I could taste the GMO rancid oil that they had fried it in. And I was I just didn't even want to eat it. I can taste it. I don't see how other people can't taste it. But I did find some really good bargains as far as good stuff. I'm going to share some of my favorites with you that I found at Expo. Okay, first of all, I have Sea Snacks. Now, Sea Snacks has actually been on our show, Jen, from Sea Snacks. And over in Korea, the mothers in Korea, they eat a lot of seaweed after they have their baby because they think it helps them make more milk for their baby. And the reason they think that is because that's what the whale does. The whale mothers eat lots of seaweed after they have their baby so that they have plenty of milk for their calf. So anyway, they have just great seaweed snacks. I mean, it's 40 calories if you eat this big old giant package of it, and it's so full of minerals and good stuff for you and good stuff for your thyroid. Seaweed snacks, and they're all organic. Okay, this was one of my favorite finds. Puffworks, everybody. Puffworks dark chocolate peanut butter puffs. These are peanut butter puffs, and they are delicious. They're organic. Okay. And that was Puffworks. Oh, here's a honey peanut butter flavor. And they also had original, just plain peanut butter puff. Okay, as you can tell, we're doing snacks right now. Okay, here was one. I have kind of used bags, but Nature Nate's popped sorghum. This is something I doubt you've ever had. How many people out there have had puffed sorghum? Raise your hand. I don't think very many. Okay, what it is, it's like little teeny tiny popcorn. And sorghum is a grain. It's a very healthy grain. This is organic. Well, they have some with G that maybe it wasn't, or it has honey. This one is brown butter caramel with G and honey. Ghee. I guess it's ghee. Excuse me. But the pop sorghum, it's crazy addictive. Like you're thinking, when you take your first bite, it's like, maybe not. You think you're not impressed. But the chewability of the sorghum, I think it's like, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, why did I love this stuff so much? I think it's 'cause, like, you start chewing it, and it's not like popcorn where you end up with a hard kernel. I think with popcorn, you always have to be a little bit cautious that you don't, like, bite into that kernel and crack your tooth and end up on a trip to the dentist, okay? But with sorghum, that's not a problem. You can chew away, and it has, like, a really great chewiness to it so that you get to chew for a long period of time. I find it very satisfying because it has that chewability factor where it doesn't just disappear and it's gone. You can actually chew, and it just kind of hangs in there and lets you just keep chewing. And it's good exercise for your jaw, which helps prevent wrinkles. Here's the star of our show right here. In the chip department, that's for sure. Honchos, everybody. Honchos. Yeah, honchos. Okay, and this is from Deep River Snacks. And they've said this one is organic, thank goodness, because it is the #1 flavor. And how do I know that? Because I watch Nightline, okay? I watched Nightline, and they actually did a countdown for the #1 most favorite chip flavors. And nacho cheese, of course, Doritos, #1. This right here, this is Doritos only better. Yeah, because it's organic. And the taste is there. The cheesiness is there. You'll love these. And none of those pesticides, no artificial flavors, any of that stuff, okay? Okay, let's see if I have... What else did I have? Okay, growing roots right here. Organic coconut and seed bites. I thought that was really inventive and a very fun snack, and it's small and easy to eat. Lamb lung treats. Okay, I didn't think this was for people. Okay, this is from Bark and Harvest, lamb lung treats, and this is for dogs. Okay, it's a natural source of glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate. So I'm going to have to try this out. I don't believe in wasting any part of the animal if you're going to kill it, so that's a good one. Okay, do I have anything else? Yes. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this company right here. This is Sweet Organics. They're from Canada, and they have giant organic bunnies, hollow bunnies for Easter. And if you go to our website, we have organic Easter baskets there and lots of things to make an organic Easter basket under our resources tab, everyone. Find all that. Okay, I'm just grabbing this bag because I only have a few minutes. Okay, this company I'm fascinated. Oh, this is Sprout Organic Waffles. And this is like a waffle cookie. And Sprout Organic Waffles. Those look really yummy. I have a feeling they're going to be good. Okay, chocolate covered chia seeds by Salva Smart. Hey, how about this? This coffee latte energy organic drink. They have the little one too. They have a single shot. This is like about 5 shots in this one right here. This will get you going in the morning. But it's called Coffee Latte Forto, Forto, energy coffee, all organic. Has the cream in it, and I've already had some of that before, and trust me, it is good. Okay, here's another purely inspired organic protein. Trust me, people, there are lots of organic choices out there. When you're buying a non-organic protein, it has glyphosate in it, has GMOs in it. Don't buy that stuff, okay? There's great organic choices out there. All right. Okay, here is, we have the ginger people. Here's a great ginger shot. And ginger is so great for nausea. I wish I would have had these shots when I had morning sickness. That really would have helped me, because that's what ginger, one of the things ginger does. Okay. Then I have Moon Valley Organics. I absolutely love their packaging. They make the most incredible soaps. And one of the things I like is that they have a plastic pump that you can refill so that you're not wasting plastic. So like that soap, the liquid soap for the bathroom that you want to have, you can buy Moon Valley Organics, and they have a refill. So you buy the plastic container one time, and then you can buy the refill after that until it gets yucky. And then hopefully put it in the recycle bin. So, okay, what other kind of good stuff do I have? Oh, you have to go to my Instagram. That's where I was putting some of my absolute top ones. Tell you the truth, I love that stuff so much, I didn't even want to take it out of the house. I was like, oh, here we go. Here's the refill for Moon Valley Organic. That's what the refill looks like. And, oh, Kai Tea, BHAKTI, Back Tea, Iced Kai Classic. This is a really great company and a really great Kai Tea. Here's the container for the Moon Valley, and then this is the refill that we have for Moon Valley Organics. So go check out these products, everyone. I'm going to be putting more of them up on our YouTube. I have some other great videos. I just put a great one of our last butterfly doing the dance to the butterfly song. You got to watch it. I mean, it's almost like the butterfly is like choreographed to be dancing with that. So you have to go join us and subscribe to us on YouTube, please. We're so close to our goal on YouTube. We just need like a couple hundred more. But yeah, go find us on YouTube, and next Tuesday, 4 o'clock, Smart Health Talk's going to be right back here on KCAA 106.5, 102.3, 1050 AM, all those channels, and you can watch live right in the studio right here, right on KCAA. Don't forget that, everyone. Okay, go find us on social media and join us next Tuesday. And thanks for listening and staying with us today. Thank you so much. Bye.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM.